My name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about data privacy and OpenAI's voice cloned audio. So OpenAI has announced that they're developing something called a voice engine, which can clone voices. So this technology can mimic someone's voice after using a 15-second audio sample. So what OpenAI is using is their pre-existing text-to-speech API that's been in development since 2022. So the point of this is that this technology can clone someone's voice in a way to make it sound very natural, not robotic. It has language translation, and it can definitely aid someone who has some type of speech impairment. Apple has something similar with this in terms of being able to help people who may have speech impairment to be able to save or store their voices. I think the concern with OpenAI and this voice cloning, I guess there's, like I said, technology is a double-edged sword. So one part is, I think for creators, people who create content, this may help them be able to do more with less. Instead of maybe live performances, they can do more with their own voice. Like think of an audiobook that clones someone's voice, so they don't have to actually read it, but it sounds like them. Or someone that maybe is speech impaired, maybe they had a stroke or something, and they can have maybe write things and have it sound like their voice. But always, the other side of that sword is that these types of technologies can enable people to clone people for nefarious purposes. So especially in, for example, let's say there are companies that use security systems that use voice as a factor of authentication. So I think voice authentication factors may be very weakened by these types of technologies. And then also people who are trying to fool someone, if they call them in scams, sounding like someone's voice. We're already hearing about people doing that right now, but I think especially at the price point that OpenAI may bring this out in the public, it may become more prevalent. So people who are in security or privacy are concerned around people being fooled around these types of voices, these type of voice cloning. They said that OpenAI is thinking about when they fully release this to have like a no-go voice list. So like a list of voices that people could not mimic, like maybe of public figures, especially around the time of election. As a matter of fact, using generative AI, there's actually a law in South Korea around election time that within 90 days of election that people can't use cloned or generative AI voices because they're concerned about people using this to create political ads that sound or look like someone to sway elections. So that's obviously a concern that we have here in the U.S. as well as being able to really deep fake or mimic someone for some type of nefarious purpose. As we see technology moving so rapidly, I think the concern always is that someone's voice or their likeness or their image may be used in a way that they didn't consent to, that they're concerned about, and that it may seem more real than fake because the technology is going so rapidly. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen with this. I'm sure this will be out pretty soon. And so, just like we see things like Sora with images, seeing this with voice and definitely text, we have seen an uptick of cyber criminals using these technologies for nefarious purposes, even though we know that some people definitely use it for good purposes, but we have to always be on the lookout for and guard against those type of negative uses of these technologies. That's it. Thank you.